are back with another very special and very exciting episode, one that I've been looking forward to, but not just because I don't have my normal co-host here. Although maybe that is one reason why I've been looking forward to this. Just kidding, Caleb. Ha ha ha, it's a joke. But as I'm sure you guys who are watching can tell, I am not here with the homie Caleb. Instead, I'm here with another very illustrious co-host, one who is, dare I say, it's not even a dare, it's pretty much a fact, the most well-read person that has ever been on this podcast. Back from Coffee and Lore, the amazing YouTube channel. If you guys haven't checked that out, go ahead and pause and then go and subscribe and like and do all the fun things there. And then you can come back.
Make sure you come back. It's a good one.
I am here once again joined with the wonderful homie Loren. Loren, welcome back.
Thanks so much. I'm hoping to carry the heavy weight of the greatest co-host ever.
You got it.
I've got this.
Yeah.
I've got this. You gave me great material, so we're good to go.
Yeah, tonight's topic of discussion is one that I've been wanting to discuss for about 5 years now. That's when this book came out, was about 5 years ago. And I got it. By the way, the topic is Wonder Woman Dead Earth. In case you guys are so committed to the podcast that you just click on a new episode without reading the title. Wonder Woman Dead Earth. And also that explains for those of you who are watching why Wonder Woman is sitting front and center. She demanded to be front and center.
She is the moment tonight.
She is the moment tonight. Sorry, Junior. You're off to the wayside. But this book, Wonder Woman Dead Earth, came out about 5 years ago. And when it did, I picked it up because I'm a really big fan of Wonder Woman, first and foremost. And also I saw that this was a DC Black Label book. And what Black Label is, that's like DC's section of books that are more mature in theme, and they typically are always kind of not canon to the main story. So comic books typically have like this continuity that they follow. Issue 1 comes, then issue 2, and then 2 is followed by 3, so forth and so on.
Sure.
But Black Label books, they're just kind of their own thing where the creators are kind of given more or less free reign to do what they want to do. The stories can be as mature as they want to be, or they can be, what they call Elseworlds, which are stories that take place in this is a different universe type deal.
There's some things that happened in this book that I was like, I don't think this is canon.
Yeah. There's a lot that happens in this book that is definitely... that would definitely make you think it's not canon. And Wonder Woman Dead Earth is not canon. It's just a tremendous story. I would like if maybe at some point, some way, somehow, we could get more stories about maybe some of the other heroes who may or may not be around in this particular universe. Mm-hmm. Just because we know about the Trinity being Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. They're kind of discussed pretty thoroughly here. Mm-hmm. But the other heroes, we didn't really know what happened with them. So, but with that being said, Loren, how have you been, first and foremost?
I've been really, really good. A lot of stuff going on over at Coffee and Lore. We had the biggest release of the year that I've been waiting on.
Oh, it's right. You told me something about this.
A book called Alchemized by Sen Lin Yu. I'm on that hype train. I know it's everywhere, and it's not for everyone. I'm not going to sit here and say, go out there, purchase this book, and read this book. It is extremely dark. It is extremely, horror in parts. It is not a romance, because I've seen it being pushed as a romantasy. It is not a romantasy. It's a war story, and it covers both sides of this war, the bad and the good on both sides, and yeah. It was my most anticipated release of the year, and it came out maybe a week or so ago, the 23rd, I think it was, and I went to the midnight release of it. So it was a 1,100 page book. So it took me 3 or 4 days. It took me a little while to read it because, I wanted to totally appreciate it, and I will probably reread it. So anyways, I have 3 videos on my channel pretty much about this book. I went to the midnight release, I reviewed the book, and then I just ordered some custom artwork off Etsy that just came in for the book that is beautiful. So yeah, you can check that out on Coffee and Lore.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So this story, what's it called again?
Alchemized.
Alchemized.
By Senlin Yu.
That name sounds familiar.
She wrote a lot of fan fiction. I have talked about Manacled on this show before.
Yes.
She wrote Manacled.
Okay.
And Alchemized is the published version of Manacled. She had to rebuild the world, obviously, because
Right.
Manacled is a Draco and Hermione fan fiction. So she had to rebuild the world. The Dark Lord's completely different. The wars between Allomancers and Necromancers. And the Allomancers are very, like, religious-based, and then, obviously, the Necromancers, they think, you know, once you take the soul from a human, it's no longer a human type of deal. And so it is intense. The Dark Lord that is over the Necromancers, who is the winner of this war, he can control people and make them do things. And so there's a lot of horror in it. Yeah, it's dark themed, but an incredible story about perseverance and yeah, mostly about just perseverance. I mean, getting through whatever it is that you're put through.
So, because the original source was
Fan fiction.
because it's based on fan fiction,
She had to change all the names, rebuild the world, change all the magic system, everything. And she had to pull Manacled off of AO3, which that has something like 4 million reads or something like that. And so she pulled it off. Thankfully, they gave us a 2-month notice before they pulled it. So most everybody I know downloaded a PDF.
Yep.
My journey for next year is to get into bookbinding.
Oh.
Because the only ethical way to own a copy of Manacled in print is to do it yourself, so that nobody is making any money off of it.
Got it.
You can go to Etsy, and there are bound copies of Manacled for sale that are hundreds of dollars, like $200, $300, $400, because people do put a lot of work into these.
Oh, yeah.
But it's very unethical to purchase them, because Senlin Yu, the person whose blood, sweat, and tears went into this book, gets $0 from it.
Yeah, that's a great point. Wow.
So, the only way to own a physical copy of Manacled in, like, its form that she originally wrote it in before it became alchemized is to print it and bind it yourself. And there is hundreds and hundreds of YouTube videos on how to do this. It is just, you need tools and you need time and you need a very, like, analytical eye for the spacing on the pages. And then you have to, you know, fold them perfectly, sew them perfectly. I'm not super artistic, so you have to custom, like, get the artwork for the covers made. It's a lot, but that is my journey for next year. I want to bind my first book next year.
That is a lot. You know, there are people within, like, the omnibus community who get their own omnis put together. So, for example, they'll take, like, a bunch of single issue comic books or a bunch of trade paperbacks, you know, ones that are a little bit thicker than your single issue books. And if there's not an omnibus of it, then they'll have it custom bound into an omnibus of their choice. They get somebody to design the dust jacket for it and get that printed out. And I look at it and I'm like, wow, that is incredible.
That is incredible.
And it looks like a lot of work.
Yeah, it definitely is a lot of work and time consuming, and you can't rush it. And it will probably take me 6 months to do it. You know what I mean? Just because I am the type of person that wants everything perfect. And if something prints off kilter or the spacing's wrong, I'm going to redo the whole dang thing. But so, I'm looking forward to it.
So let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
In terms of your consumption of stories, if you had to choose, would you rather have a story that has some of the most compelling characters that you've ever read, but the story has a pretty mid plot, or would you rather read something that has just the most gripping and fascinating plot that you've ever seen before, but the characters are pretty standard, subpar?
I'm a character person.
Gotcha.
I can, if my characters are well developed and I have compassion for them, or I feel something for this character, then the plot can be whatever. I really like Dungeon Crawler Carl. and that's like become really, really popular. I love the characters. I like Princess Donut, the cat. The book is very, very funny and very relatable to people who play D&D, but the plot is kind of predictable. Let's be real. It's just him going through a dungeon created by aliens, and he keeps coming into very common tropey D&D rooms. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The plot's not the best plot that's ever plotted, but you fall for these characters and you want to see what level he gets to, yada, 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 what he meets in the next room. So yeah, if the characters are there, it does not matter on the plot for me.
I think for the most part, I'm right there with you. Don't get me wrong, I love a great plot.
I do, but if it, no matter how good the plot is, if I don't relate to a single character in this book, I can't.
Yeah, you know, like a great plot with subpar characters almost feels like a wasted opportunity because I can acknowledge that, man, this plot is A+ amazing, but I just don't really care that much about these characters. And on the flip side, even if I read a story that I'm having a hard time getting into because the plot isn't that interesting, but the characters are great, it doesn't feel like a wasted opportunity because these characters can always come back in something else. You know?
So I actually have a hot take author for that exact thing. There's a very popular author named R.F. Kuang, and people live or die by R.F. Kuang. But she is exactly that for me. Her plots are incredible. She takes on these huge socio-ecological issues. You know what I mean? Racism in collegiate systems and the oppression of the Japanese people during certain war times. Like, she takes on these really big stories. But I cannot relate to her characters. I just don't like the way she writes characters. And so I have tried to read so many of her books that, you know, everybody raves about Babel and Yellowface and things like that. And I'm like, I want to be an R.F. Kuang girl.
Yeah.
But I just, oh my goodness, I just don't get into her characters.
Yeah. Sometimes having characters like that can just really, it just really feels like I said earlier, a missed opportunity of sorts. Because
Absolutely.
Yeah. I completely get that. Well, with that being said, we'll go ahead and get into tonight's topic here. But first, proper introductions are in order, so homies one and all, welcome back to another very special or wonderful episode of the
You didn't give yourself a ba-dun-dun-dun.
You know I didn't. Thank you, Loren.
I don't control your ba-dun-dun-duns. You can have as many as you want when I'm on the show.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
You're already gaining a whole lot of traction in my book here. So this is excellent. Caleb, he gets all.
Yes, he's like, you didn't deserve that one. You've had too many. I watched the show.
Thank you for noticing that. Welcome back to another episode of the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and tonight I am here not with the homie Caleb, but with someone who might be superior. We'll see.
Oh man, he's gonna love that. I hope he watches.
I am here with the homie Loren, and like I said earlier, I'm so glad to have you back on here. I really think that this is going to be a super fun episode. When the homie Caleb announced that he was going to miss a few episodes, I said, well, I need some fill-in host. And Loren, I am so grateful and thankful to you that you were willing to step up. And not only were you willing to step up and be on the podcast, but you asked for a book to read.
Absolutely. I love a book recommendation.
Yeah. And so then I had to come up with a book that, A, hasn't been discussed on this podcast yet. B, one that I think you and the homies would find really cool to talk about. And so I had to really just figure out those two things. Oh, and also, of course, like, C, a story that doesn't require, like, a fucking comic book diploma to understand.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't have to know who every villain who ever existed was, and
right.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, why are they making such a big deal about whoever? And so, honestly, though, it was a pretty easy decision. There were a few books that I really had in mind for this. One that I really thought about doing was Batman Year One. It's one of the most famous Batman stories of all time. It's considered one of the all-time great Batman stories.
Very cool.
I thought about that, and that's, for me, that's like a story that's like breaking case of emergency type use, where it's like if I really need something to discuss, that story's always there.
Yeah.
You know, but then I was like, I discussed a few other Black Label stories before. Even though it's been a while, I could revisit them. One that I have not done that I think needs to be done is Wonder Woman Dead Earth. And when I handed you the book, you asked a question that I was afraid you were going to ask. And in case anyone else is wondering, I'm going to go ahead and clear this up here and now, okay? When I handed you the book, you looked at it and you said, "Are you giving me this because I'm a woman?"
I was like, maybe he thinks I can't read boy books.
Yeah, I get it though. Sometimes I do present like I'm 12, but that is not why.
This is the perfect book. It was so good, and I truly appreciate that this is the book you recommended.
Okay. Well, thank you for that.
You're very welcome. I also said that doesn't look like Gal Gadot.
In no way, shape, or form does this look like Gal Gadot.
I like her.
Yes. This is definitely a really unique rendition of Wonder Woman, and I dig it.
I do too.
Yeah, so Wonder Woman Dead Earth is both written and drawn by Daniel Warren Johnson.
I did not know he drew it also. Yep. That is really dope. That's why there's not another name on there, Loren. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, he kind of does like most of the heavy lifting here in this book. This is really his project.
Yeah.
And you can tell that there's a lot of love and craft that's been put into this book that he wrote here. So you kind of already answered this question, but I would love for you to give me a little bit more detail. What were your overall thoughts on this story?
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. I thought it talked about a lot of real world issues, things that are scarily possible. Mm-hmm. It dealt with a lot of, oh my gosh, just different things as far as the relationship between a superhero and humans, and it's a bit of a revenge story in certain parts. It's a bit of a, dealing with mother-daughter trauma in some parts. It covers a lot of things. I really, really, really enjoyed this book.
Yeah, I thought you would. This book, I would say, would not be for people who have like a distaste for gore or body horror, because there is quite a bit of both those things in this book.
I skimmed those images because I don't like gore at all. So if anybody's listening who knows me in real world, you're like, oh, what, Loren? Yeah, I mean, it wasn't so bad that it turned me off the book.
Yeah.
And I can read horror.
Okay.
I just don't like it on a movie where like they're picking someone's fingernails off and she's screaming I can't do gore in movies. Mm-hmm. But like 100% I was fine there.
Yeah. I'm glad that was not enough to put you off the book.
No.
And yeah, I'm also glad that you really enjoyed this. This was one that as soon as I read it, I was blown away the first time I read Dead Earth, because this was just such a really unique and compelling story. And it kind of serves a couple of different masters in a way. Like, this book is great for people who just want like the hardcore metal, balls to the wall type superhero stories. But this book is also very much for people who like more introspective, character-driven books that you see a lot of growth and development along the way.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Like, the character work in it was really, really good, whether it's starting with the human group, mm-hmm. or whether it's even Wonder Woman herself or her mother. Like, the character work is really good.
Yeah. And I think this is a 4-issue book, and in those 4 issues, there's a surprisingly high number of twists and cool reveals that happen along the way.
I agree. There was some moments where I turned the next page and I was like, who?
Yeah.
She did what?
Yeah. Yeah. So you're wondering what happened to Earth? How did Wonder Woman get here? Where is everyone? Where did these creatures come from? And the interesting thing is all of those questions are pretty much answered.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's handled really well. There's no like trying to figure it out for yourself. The author gives you the answers.
Yeah. What's also cool about an Elseworld book or a Black Label book, something like this, is like I mentioned earlier, the creator, Daniel, he's not entitled to strictly follow or adhere to any rules or continuity relating to Wonder Woman. So he was just kind of able to create his own playground here. And I love when comic book creators are able to do that because they're able to tell us a story exactly the way they want to without any confines. I always think about this, like if you're writing a Batman book and you have this really cool Two-Face story in mind that you really want to do, and then you get hired by DC and you have the opportunity now to write for Batman, and only to be told that, well, the writer before you has Two-Face locked up in Arkham. He can't come out, so you have to use somebody else. Like there's always going to be things like that.
Yeah.
That get in the way for a lot of mainstream comic books. So you have to figure
So it
out
gives,
ways.
I bet, Black Label a lot of like room to write a good story without having to be in so many confines as maybe some other comic book stuff.
Yep. The downside is, if my memory serves correct, I think that TC actually ended their Black Label imprint.
Oh, that sucks.
It really sucks. And I think they did it because of the non-kid friendly image that a lot of those books put out there.
But not everything has to be for everyone.
Exactly.
Just monitor what your kid is reading.
Yeah. And that's kind of what the Black Label stamp
was
there for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, hey, this isn't for...
Or 16 and under or whatever.
Yeah. Like, there's plenty of ways to do that. And so every once in a while now, you'll still get a book that may be a little risque, but, for maybe the past 4 or 5 years or so, they've really been trying to...
Family friendly, the DC Comics?
Yeah. I guess because now with, like, everything always comes back to, like, movie studios and Warner Brothers and them wanting to present things in, like, such a packageable manner, So... I think a fun example is there was a Wonder Woman movie that was coming out around the same time as this.
Okay.
And, I think that maybe this book is a prime example where like DC was maybe worried that, okay, well, what if kids go see this Wonder Woman movie and then they want to go read Wonder Woman and they
Dead
go
Earth.
And they go and pick
they're like, oh my God, what is it? She just grabbed that dead Batman.
Yeah. It's that Superman spinal cord.
Oh my God. Yeah.
By the way, full spoilers ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, if you haven't read the book and you're gonna, come back after.
Yeah, yes. But this book is so good, I promise you that even if you haven't read this, by the end of this episode, you will want to.
Absolutely. I read it in one sitting.
Oh, yeah.
It was excellent.
Very nice. So, the way that this story starts here is... By the way, the artwork here is beautiful.
It is wonderful.
If I remember to do so, and if YouTube allows me to, I will post pictures of some of the interior artwork up on the screen periodically.
So I have notes, and the first thing I wrote down was post-nuclear ?
Yes.
Because that was the first thing when she looks out at her that I thought of.
Yeah.
I was like, this has got to be post-nuclear.
Yep. And like what I really dig about that is that like there's always revelation upon revelation in this book. Mm-hmm. Because again, it's not a very long read. Again, I think it's only 4 issues, and so there's always something new being revealed, and it's being revealed in like a really cool way.
I would love to know where each issue ended.
Yeah, I think, do they have markers in here? Oh, you know what? This is the deluxe edition, so maybe they don't have the markers, actually. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder what big reveal, because I'm sure they did some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Hook. Some sort of ending
Yep.
hook to make people want to get the next one or can't wait for the next one.
Right, to keep you coming back.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so I would love to know where each issue ended.
Oh, yeah. Something else that I also kind of like, and I haven't heard anyone else talk about this. Maybe because like it sounds a little bit on the risque side. I don't know, but maybe it's just my interpretation and it's just my eyes only. I don't know. But something else that I also really like about this interpretation of Wonder Woman is that she really, to me, seems to be a bit racially ambiguous.
Yeah, no, I absolutely like that. I got that from the cover.
Yeah.
Where I was like, okay, this is probably the first Amazonian looking Wonder Woman I've ever actually seen.
Right.
No, I definitely like that.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. This book is also layered with flashbacks. So throughout this book, you'll see moments of Diana in her youth and things that kind of shaped her into the woman that she becomes. And those are very pivotal moments and parts of the story. Like without these flashbacks, the story doesn't work as well, or it's not as impactful, especially when it comes to her relationship with her mother.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So this is a nuclear story, or a story of post-nuclear apocalypse, we should say.
But you don't know that right away. I guessed it by the artwork strictly, which is something to say for his artwork.
Yeah.
Was that immediately the first thing I wrote on my note paper was, is this post-nuclear? Without him having to reveal it to me.
And here's the brilliant thing about it. Again, full spoilers. But the brilliant thing about it is if you look at the artwork, and if you look at the context of the story, and we know that there was a war between the humans and the Amazons, and we'll get to that when we get there, and that there were nuclear missiles in use, that's not what really caused the dead Earth. That's what caused some of these creatures that we get.
Yep.
But there was something else that caused the dead Earth, and that floored me the first time that I read it. So, yeah, this is a story that takes place kind of from the POV of Diana, because she is our titular character here. But we also get these group of kids, or younger people, I should say, maybe teenagers or so. And some of their names are like Dee and Edog, and I think Tall is one. I forget the names of some of these kids.
Dee was the one that like stuck out most to me because I think he carries on the most relationship with Diana throughout the story.
Yes.
And so my note here is that she meets Dee and the gang. I didn't know all the other names, but Dee really stood out from like the jump from me.
Yeah. Yeah, Dee is she's a pretty unique character that we get here. And I dig kind of the progression that she has as well. Because she is kind of like the ragtag leader of her little group of other post-apocalyptic children, but she's not infallible. She actually has quite a few flaws, but she's trying.
Yeah.
They run into these creatures known as Hadras, and these things are sick looking as hell. They are wicked looking as fuck. They are gross looking, to say the least.
Absolutely. They look like very, very gross monsters.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty hideous looking, pretty sick to draw. I'm pretty sure that Daniel Warren Johnson had a great time drawing them. And so, like, the kids, you can tell by their reaction that they're
used to them.
Yeah, they're accustomed to seeing these things.
Yeah, exactly. That was something I drew right away was, okay, this is not their first time doing battle with one of these things.
Right. And they run away, and they stumble, and they fall down into this kind of cavernous area. And when they land on like this kind of contraption that has a glass casing on it, and they shatter that casing. And they're trying to check each other out to make sure that everyone's fine. And this creature is still on the hunt. This Hydra, this demonic-looking beast, is still on the hunt for these children. But the glass case that the kids landed on and broke contained Wonder Woman. And she snaps out of it, and she grabs the creature and just throttles it.
Whoops its ass.
Beats its ass. And she's discombobulated. She doesn't know where she is.
Right.
She doesn't know what's going on. She knows her name, but she can't remember the last thing that happened or how she got here or even where here is. So, yeah. she's she beats this thing pretty good, but she also quickly realizes that okay, she's still Wonder Woman, but
her powers aren't right.
Yeah, exactly. Something's not right here. Mm-hmm. And that just kind of takes me back to what we were discussing earlier about how this story, it presents so many questions. Mm-hmm. And, thankfully there is a payoff for all of them, including what happened to Wonder Woman's powers, because Diana, she's still strong, but she's not Wonder Woman strong right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so, she just gruesomely rips this Hadra's neck out, rips his throat out. Pretty cool shit to see. But then we pan out and we get what for me was like a pretty kind of shocking revelation as we kind of pan out to see the surrounding area that they landed in. They're in the bottom of the Batcave.
Right. I literally wrote Batman shock because I wasn't like, I haven't read a lot of comics or whatever. I didn't know that other characters intertwine this much. Yeah. So I'm just reading, thinking I've got a Wonder Woman story, and there's like a dead Batman on a couch. And I'm like, what the freak am I reading?
Yes. Oh, and Batman's my guy. And so
he is mine too. He's my favorite superhero of DC, Marvel, any of it.
Yeah, same here. And so my shock and awe to see, okay, A, Diana was encapsulated in like some kind of stasis. B, she was in the pits of the Batcave. Yeah. C, Batman is dead upstairs on his couch.
Oh my gosh, that was the hook for me right there, where I was like, I picked this book up and I was like, okay, I'm not putting it down until it's done. I'm just not.
Right, because you got to know what the hell happened here.
What the hell is going on?
And so, what's brilliant about this is that we as the readers, we are just as confused as Diana is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You are finding things out. That's why I love a good, like, amnesia or, like, memory loss, anything like that story, is because then I feel like I'm figuring things out and learning things along with that character. It's a really great way to tell your story if it works. It's not for every story, but here it's done really, really well.
Yeah, it works extremely well here, I think.
Absolutely, because you're figuring out the surrounding, these characters and everything, the monsters with Diana.
Yeah. What'd you think of like the artwork in this book?
I thought I liked it a lot. Hold on, I wrote down a word, grimdark.
Yes.
I wrote down grimdark because literally Alchemized is a grimdark book, and I finished that book and picked this up. And I was like, it's the same. Yeah. Like, it was so cool. It was like such a transition reading that book and then reading this.
Yes.
That I don't know if this is pitched as grimdark art style, but that was what I wrote down.
Oh, no, I think that definitely applies here. This is grimdark, metal-esque, just the hardcore type of shit,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
No, I loved it.
Yeah, same. I think that not every artist is suitable for every story, but, when you're both the writer and the artist,
then you're literally drawing your own story.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? There's no disconnect between the story and the artwork because it's your story, you're writing it, you're telling it, you're drawing it.
Exactly.
It's very cohesive.
Yeah. Diana, she sees a dead Batman sitting on the couch, still wearing the Batman outfit. And she's like, what in the hell happened here?
What she does slayed me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, she looks out. So here's the other thing I guess we should also note is that, like, the not only the Batcave, but the Bat Mansion, the whole manor is in ruins. And so she's looking out and she sees what presumably most of Earth looks like.
Yeah.
Which is just a barren wasteland. And she is crying because Diana is supposed to be a protector of this world.
Right.
And what in the hell happened here? But what she does next, as you pointed out, is pretty incredible.
It is. She starts taking Batman's gear off and putting it on.
Yes.
I wrote that and underlined it.
She takes Bruce's utility belt off of his dead corpse. She goes into his armory where he's got kind of like his museum armory of sorts. And she takes like some weaponry from there and like a cloak and like tattered remains of her old outfit, and she puts it on, and she comes out with the badass look. You know,
she does. She's like got there it is. It's on the front. It's got the Batman belt and then her Wonder Woman sword. And she looks fucking cool.
Oh yeah,
like she's ready to wreck shit.
It's a really cool badass look, I thought.
I agree.
Yeah. And so Dee and her gang, they agreed to take Diana back with them to their home, Camp New Hope, which what an ironic name for this camp.
Yes.
So the whole reason why Dee and her crew were out was because they were sent on like these little excursions to see if they can find things or people to bring back to their leader. What was his name? I forget what this guy.
I, of course, did not write that man's name down.
You know, that is fair because he's kind of an asshole. It'll come up in here.
Yeah, but I also wrote "fuck humans" because they trained her.
Oh yeah, yeah, and this is the thing. Also, like reading this book at this point, you're thinking that Dee is on the up and up.
Yeah,
but yeah, they being Dee also effectively set up Wonder Woman because they're thinking, or Wonder Woman's thinking that she's coming into Camp New Hope to see how she can help revitalize humanity, and they bring her there knowing that they need to present something to their ruler, and they present Wonder Woman, and so they trank her, and Wonder Woman she's rendered unconscious until she's not. She's still Wonder Woman.
They also reveal old Gotham.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wrote that down because I was like, oh shit, this would be. I mean, the Batcave was right there.
Right.
But this is the first time they call it old Gotham.
Right. Yeah. And, now that I think about it, that's got to be also the first time that they've stumbled onto the Batcave since this whole thing happened.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, Batman has some really cool shit down there.
And the only thing they left with was Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, like, that's probably the most useful thing, but I guarantee you he's got equipment that runs solar powered, or, he's got some cool shit for sure.
Yeah, they definitely should go back and search that house.
Yeah. So we are introduced to some of these flashbacks, and I would kind of like to talk about some of these in tandem, because these flashbacks, I think, do really help paint the canvas for who Wonder Woman is. But most of these flashbacks is a young Diana with her mother, Hippolyta, or I'm trying to think about how the proper pronunciation of her name has always tripped me up. But Hippolyta is what I've called her.
And that sounds right to me.
Or Hippolyta, I guess you can call it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. So Diana and Hippolyta, or Hippolyta, whatever you want to call it, Wonder Woman and her mom, they're talking, and it comes to a point where Diana's mom is telling her about her creation, about how she wanted to create, just this wonderful child, and, what she did. Mm-hmm. And she also talks about how the gods betrayed her. Mm-hmm. And so they're laying the groundwork for what we will later come to understand that, the gods would mistreat a lot of the Amazonians and obviously a lot of the humans. But what we do eventually learn is that Diana was the byproduct of not just being made from the deepest clay of Themyscira.
I was wondering how you say that, Themyscira. Okay.
Yeah, yes. That one I do know how to pronounce properly.
There you go.
But Diana was also made with blood from all of the gods.
Right.
So Hippolyta, she threw a rager.
She really did.
She organized one hell of a party And
She's
gods,
like, the entry fee is a drop of your blood.
gods love to get shit faced.
Yep.
And so they're like free alcohol, they all show up. And when they're all good and sauced up, Hippolyta, she comes by and she takes a drop of all of their blood and she mixes that into the clay that she uses to form Diana, which is why she's so powerful. Now, that kind of becomes an issue because that power is damn near unbridled. When she's training with Nubia, who in this book, Nubia is the person who really is responsible for Diana's battle prowess and showing her how to fight, there comes a point where Nubia is almost killed, but Diana, she's just so powerful, like she can crack mountains,
Yeah.
like just with a punch. But also with that power, there's like a rage that comes along with it that she's having a hard time controlling.
Right.
And this is when Hippolyta tells Nubia about what she did and about the origins of Diana's powers. And so they devise these bracers, the bracers that we see one woman wear. And these magical bracers will essentially nerf that power and help keep that rage under control.
Yep.
And so that's why Diana had those bracers on. And like the first half of the flashbacks that we get here in this book, that's kind of what those explain. What do you think about these flashback scenes?
I thought they added a lot to the story, and it was really great for a new comic book reader because I don't know a lot of Wonder Woman's backstory. So I got new story, backstory. It was cohesive. I thought they added a lot. Yep. I didn't know how Wonder Woman was made. I didn't know any of this, so it gave me some meat to the story.
Yeah. So I will say this: her having a drop of every god's blood, I think that's something that's unique to this story.
This story that's not canon. Got it.
Right.
I see. I don't know in here what all's canon, what's not canon. The dead Batman, I knew was not canon, and some other things. But like the how she was created, I didn't know. I thought it was cool though.
Yeah. So in more recent tellings, I don't know if this is still the case, but in some more recent tellings, she is like the daughter of Zeus, actually.
Okay.
Which explains her amazing powers.
Wouldn't it be cool if she just popped up in like Percy Jackson?
Wow.
I'm Diana.
I mean, here's the crazy thing. Wonder Woman, I think she was created in I want to say like the mid to late 40s.
Wow.
Which means that
I did not know her story that old.
Oh, yeah. Which technically means in like 20, 25 years from now, she'll technically be like public domain. So,
wow, that's pretty cool. After 100 years, they become public domain.
Mm-hmm. Superman and Batman very soon will be public domain characters. Superman was created in 38, Batman in 39.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Mickey's already public domain.
Yeah.
So
what does that mean, public domain? Does that mean
it means that like in terms of free use, basically anyone can use their own interpretation of those characters.
Oh, how cool. And you don't have as many like licensing hoops to jump through and things like that.
Because now right now, if you want to put Batman in anything, damn near if you want to put the Bat logo in anything, you're going to have to go through DC, which means you have to go through Warner Brothers. And it's...
Don't look at his shirt, y'all. We ain't got that kind of funding.
Yeah, go to the committee if you have a problem with my shirt.
You can call the homie Caleb. He handles all those types of things.
But so there's just certain things like obviously anyone can do parody.
Yeah.
Anyone's protected under parody. So, but that's a different thing. So like with this free or with this 100-year becoming a free market type deal, there's been a lot of interesting movies that have come out like with these characters that are old as shit now. Like I think they're working on a Popeye horror movie.
I think I've heard that. Yeah, and Pooh Bear, right?
And Pooh Bear, yep.
They did a Pooh Bear one, so he must be 100.
He is. Yeah.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah.
What do you think that's going to do for, like,
So that's where things get interesting because I don't know what I think that there'll probably still be some enforcements in place.
Yeah.
I would imagine so.
Yeah. Like you
So,
can't
like,
be out there
I
making
think-
Batman porn or something.
Yeah.
Like
Well, they already do that, so
I'm on the wrong side of the internet.
not that I know that. But I think that for example, with the Popeye movie, I think it's called like The Sailor Man. They can't call it Popeye.
Yeah, it can't be Popeye the Murderer.
Yeah. Same thing with like this Winnie the Pooh movie. I think it's called something else.
The Bad Bear or something. I don't know, but I know what you're talking about.
Right.
Got
it. With with Batman and Superman, when they become public domain, I mean, they'll be like obviously referenced and
the man with superpowers.
Yeah. The man made from steel or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, that was our first rabbit hole here.
That
tonight.
was. Yeah, I just wanted to know what that meant, public domain.
It's a great question, and we're going to see a lot more of it here in the future.
I know, because media that our printed media, I think the first ones we have that we still have really good sources for are the late 1800s. We've already hit the 100-year mark first, but this form of media became really popular between what's the word I'm looking for? Not acceptable to everybody, but available to everybody. Mm-hmm. And around the height in the 30s and 40s, where people could buy books. You know what I mean? It wasn't just the really wealthy or the schools or the church, because that's where printed media started. It was in the church. Right. And so, we're gonna have a lot of stuff coming up on 100 years, I imagine.
Yeah, it's gonna be
an interesting time.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Oh, for sure. Also mentioned one about Captain America, because he would be the first major Marvel character that would be public domain, because he was 1940 or 41.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
That's really cool that they've held their weight too that long.
Right.
Captain America to this day is still cool and people still watch movies about him. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he'll be called Freedom Fighter.
Yeah, exactly. They do that with art, because I buy a lot of artwork off of Etsy and things like that, and they can't necessarily say Draco and Hermione. There's tortured enemies to lovers is the name of the painting. You know what I mean?
Right.
But one of them's got silver hair, one of them's got curly brown hair, and it's obvious.
Coincidence.
Yeah, exactly. But they can't get sued. So.
Yeah. So. Diana, like we said, she got tranquilized when she was about to Théoden. That's his name. Théoden, yeah.
I really love the line that she says to Théoden that I'll be no man's wife as she's coming out of her her comatose state, and he's like, I'm gonna make her my wife.
And she was like, I beg to fucking differ.
Yes, I'll be no man's wife.
Yeah. No one gave him the memo on who Diana is.
It very much reminisced me to that Lord of the Rings scene with Éowyn, where she's like, I am no man.
Right.
It's really good.
Yeah, I agree. I still think that's a loophole and that whole thing. But, we're not talking about that here. Caleb would have a conniption if we talked about Lord of the Rings here without him.
Well, I am not as knowledgeable in Lord of the Rings as he is. I took him to a Hobbit party, and he won the contest. And I was like, you shouldn't have played. That was not fair. Everybody else had no shot.
Oh, like a trivia?
Yes, they did a trivia thing, and Caleb won, obviously, the contest.
That's not fair. He should.
No, they didn't know. This was his first time meeting these people. I brought him as my plus one. Yeah. Well, one of my plus ones. I brought plus 3. Is that bad? I was invited to a party, and I brought plus 3. But it's fine.
Hey, I mean, yeah.
I roll deep. I mean, I had to take Caleb, Dylan, and Oz.
Yeah, and I know all of them, and and 2 of them are really cool. All right.
That almost came. I caught it though. I'm so interested.
I know.
That's one of those that makes your mind.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna put you on the spot. Don't worry.
So when one woman is in prison, Dee comes to Diana and she's like, "Hey, sorry, I know that you're probably mad at me because I kind of betrayed you and I got you in prison." And here's what I really like about the way that Diana is written here is, and this is something that is like a core characteristic of Wonder Woman, is as brutal and as savage as she is in battle, she is as kind and caring and gentle outside of battle.
Yeah, she's a very soft, like feminine superhero character. You know what I mean? You don't see that a lot. Like, I don't know, Batgirl has always been very like, or Catwoman, probably Catwoman more so. And I don't know if it's just the movies because I only know her from the movies. It's very like sexified and like I don't know if she's that way in the comics too. But
she uses her sex appeal for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But like Diana just comes across like very almost like motherly.
Yeah.
Like I just really liked her character.
Yeah, and a lot of my favorite Wonder Woman stories, or stories that just feature Wonder Woman in them, that comes across. Like there's this one story that I really enjoy with this obscure character named Blue Beetle.
Nice.
Yeah. He's the Blue Beetle number 2 out of 3. But there's this whole conspiracy theory that he starts to discover, and no one believes him, and like they take him up to like the Justice League headquarters and all that, and and we get the story from his POV, so he's hanging out with like the big timers now. There's Batman and there's Superman, and he's like, man, Batman wouldn't even give me the time of day. He's like, I'll look into it whenever I get a chance. And Superman, he's trying to be earnest, but I can tell he doesn't really see what I'm talking about here. But he goes, Diana was the only one who would really hear me out. And that's just kind of who she is. She will listen to you, and even if she doesn't understand, she will help you the best she can. But she'll also kill you if she has no choice.
Absolutely. We find out here she'll kill motherfucking anybody.
Yeah. Oh. So we're going to kind of speed along here. So one of the first major battles we get here is Diana is forced to fight in like these fighting pits. And
she ends up knowing the monster that she's fighting.
Yes.
Like she recognizes this monster.
Yes. The monster is Cheetah, who the book, or the writer, I should say, Daniel Johnson, he never references her as Cheetah, and I think he does that on purpose. He simply calls her Barbara.
Is Cheetah like a famous villain or something from another comic?
Yeah, okay. Cheetah's one of Wonder Woman's more commonly known villains.
Okay. Yeah, he just calls her Barbara in this.
Yeah. And because that's Cheetah's real name.
Oh, okay.
And that's definitely like Diana trying to appeal to Barbara's humanity, which has definitely been
mutated.
Yeah, and just stripping away in the story. We don't get specifics, but Barbara here, if you guys have never read or seen this, Barbara has been mutated damn near beyond recognition. Man, like beforehand. Okay, how to put this about how Barbara looked? No judgment here, all right? But before, in most incarnations of Cheetah, not that I would, but I can understand the furry mentality.
Okay, so they make her kind of hot.
Yeah. Here,
she's not.
She's been gravely mutated.
Yeah. I wouldn't look at that and say I want to tap that at all.
No,
she's scary.
She's got like a monstrous mouth that goes halfway up the side of her face.
It's metal and looks like it would hurt if you put something in it.
Oh yeah. She's got an arm that is also a cheetah.
Yeah. Yep, that's a cheetah mouth.
It's a cheetah mouth and head on her arm. Yeah, it's super metal. And I mean just so goddamn hardcore. So the fight takes place here, and Diana, she's holding back. She doesn't want to fight, but what choice does she have? Meanwhile, there is a whole group of Hydra that are coming towards
the city.
Yeah, exactly. And well, that's going to cause problems. But it's a lot of them. And at this point in the story, we still don't know where these Hadras come from, but they're just these mutated monsters that came from nowhere. So long story short, Diana, she goes and she leads the charge to fight these Hadras, and I mean, she does a great job, and she helps turn the tide of that battle. And by the end of it, the people are chanting her name. Mm-hmm. They're chanting for Diana, and Diana's like, "I will lead the people of New Hope to a better life, a better way of living." And
I think it's Barbara who has this really great line that says, "The world of men are not worthy of your love."
Yeah, that's actually, it's right here. Yep. The world of men are not worthy of your love. Yeah, that is a great line that's dropped here. And actually, I think that may have been from Hippolyta to like young Diana, because the Amazons, they are famous or infamously known for not wanting to associate with anyone from the outside world, especially.
And you wonder why.
You mean you Wonder Woman?
That one was well deserved.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But just going back to Diana's compassion really quick, Barbara, she is still reeling. You can tell that like her anger and frustration is not at Wonder Woman.
No.
Is 100% at the circumstances that she was in. And she wants to kill Théoden, the leader or the ruler. But Diana's like, leave him alone. And there's this other really, really fascinating line or exchange of dialogue here where, what does she say? Barbara says, you don't know what he did to me or what they did to me. And Diana says, you're right, I don't. But she's still willing to
help them.
Yeah.
She don't know who the Hydra are yet either, though.
Nope.
Really.
Yeah. Don't know who they are yet, but we will find out. Mm-hmm. And that's a revelation I didn't expect to get the first time I read the book. I thought they were just mutated monsters, just that came about from,
Absolutely, yeah.
So Diana agrees to not only help these people.
That art was so pretty. I remember that page.
Yeah. She agrees to take them all to Themyscira, which is a huge ask. She's making a lot of assumptions. And
but they're going to be welcome there.
Yeah, they'll be welcome there. That there's still a Themyscira to go home to. That she has a way to get there because it's a hidden island. Like you can't walk to Themyscira.
Exactly.
But to answer one of your early questions, this is where I would say issue 1 ends.
Makes sense.
Yep. Yes, right. There's another flashback here. We technically already talked about this flashback. Her training with Nubia was a really good one.
Yes.
And her Diana not being able
and I think this is the first time they actually call it by name, the Themyscira, because this is where I wrote down the Themyscira reveal flashbacks.
Yep. Pretty cool island. I wouldn't be welcome there, but it'd be pretty cool.
No, because you're a man.
It would be pretty cool to.
I feel like my daughter would do work on the Themyscira.
Oh yeah, she'd love it there, right?
She would love it.
Yeah. All they do is, but they do a lot of training and fighting there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Diana, she by the way, she does keep Théoden alive, and he eventually does tell Diana where she can get some supplies from, like some vehicles and whatnot to help with the travel. And so they begin to trek. And they are walking in the direction of Themyscira. Now, that is...
in that direction.
Yeah. So we know they're in Gotham. Mm-hmm. Because they're not that far from the Batcave.
Yeah. And they called it Old Gotham.
And they called it Old Gotham. So they've got to be walking from wherever Gotham is in the United States to the nearest coast.
So I didn't know me not being a comic book person, don't know Themyscira is an obscure island. Yes. I'm like, I guess I can just fucking walk there. But now I'm like, that is odd.
Yeah. Thankfully, like in the book, they don't just walk there. They do a lot of walking, but eventually they do have to like take boats and whatnot. Mm-hmm. they do encounter this enormous Hydra.
Okay, I wrote down sandworm because it looked like a sandworm. Like, I was like, am I reading Dune now?
Right. I mean, this thing is massive, but I love the way that Diana beats it.
Yeah.
So she's down a truck. That's a bad thing.
Yep.
But, you know, she uses this Jeep in a really cool fashion. She takes one of the few vehicles that they have, and she drives it like off of a cliff into this creature, this giant Hydra. Then she pours gasoline down the Hydra's throat, and then she strikes a bat match from her utility belt.
A bat match. Oh my gosh.
And she gets this bat ladder match, and then she throws it down the Hydra's gullet, and it just explodes. It's a really cool and gross image.
It is.
Yeah.
That was when I skimmed, guys.
Now, here's one of our first hints as to what these Hydras are. It's because one of the kids that hangs out with Dee, they cut open the Hydra and they're looking at it and they say, "This is not right. This is weird. It's got like a pancreas and liver. It's got like human organs in here." And we don't really get anything else for a while. They're just like, "Oh, well, that's weird. It's dead. Oh, well."
Yeah, good thing we killed that shit.
Yeah. Did you have any thoughts about what the Hydras were once you got to this part?
So I did, because of the Barbara reveal. So when I knew that she knew Barbara, I was like, I wonder if all of these monsters are people she knows or something. You know what I mean? Like, did she just kill her auntie and doesn't know it?
Could have, actually.
Yeah. So by this point, I was starting to put together 2 and 2 that I thought that maybe these especially the next page or so, obviously, where Momster comes out.
Yeah. I like the Momster. Yeah.
Momster. You never want to turn into a Momster, but sometimes you got to.
Yep. Hopefully not like this.
No, not like that. But, you know, sometimes you got to put your foot down and act like maybe you got some tentacles and stuff you can whop them with.
They do take a pit stop here at a lighthouse. Here's the thing about this lighthouse. It's probably just a lighthouse, but I like to imagine that maybe this was Aquaman's lighthouse.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. We don't really get any context clues, so in my head canon, it is.
Are the Aquaman comics good? Like, better than the movie?
Yes, they are quite good.
I liked the first Aquaman movie, but the second one,
it was,
it just started out and it was just Jason Momoa drinking Guinness on a couch.
That's all it was. It was Jason Momoa, the movie, underwater.
Yeah, that's kind of what it came off as. And I like Jason Momoa, but it was just not Aquaman, my friend.
Yeah, you can tell that they didn't have anything for that script, so they just depended on his charisma
to carry that movie. Yep. And when he cracked that first Guinness, I was like, I'm in for a ride. I don't even think I made it through the second Aquaman.
You didn't miss much. But no, if you like the first movie, I did. It's based on a really good Aquaman comic book.
Nice.
It's really good. Really, really good.
But yeah, I didn't even think of that. That is a good thing to point out, that could have been Aquaman's lighthouse.
Yeah. There is a small boat there, and Diana says, okay, me and Dee and maybe one other person will go and we'll sell out the Themyscira, and we'll come back with bigger boats and supplies to bring all you guys back.
Right.
So that's the game plan. And when Diana gets there, she meets Nubia again. Nubia is still there standing guard, but she's in like a full suit of armor.
Yep.
So you can't really see her, and Nubia doesn't speak, but Wonder Woman still kind of recognizes her. So, oh, Nubia, that's you. Oh. And all Nubia does is just point in a direction. So Diana and Dee, they slink off in that direction. And she goes down into like this cavernous area, and there in the shadows, she sees her mother, Hippolyta. And Diana, she runs up, gives her a great big hug. Mother, I missed you. What's happened? And then Diana's like, "Oh, I miss you so much." And oh my God, what the fuck happened to you?
Yes, because she is a monster. Like she looks normal from like the waist up, but then from the waist down, she's something else.
Straight up eldritch horror.
Yes.
Just yeah. It's a bad situation. Looking at that.
It's no fun.
Yeah, no. And Diana even says, "By the gods, mother."
Yeah, what the hell happened to you?
Yeah. And then Hippolyta, she puts her hands on Diana's head, and she's able to reveal to Diana glimpses of what happened. And she says, or she learns that the humans you love so much, they bombed us so hard and so many times there was almost nothing left. But the humans forgot we were of the gods. Nuclear bombs could not kill us, but the fallout did change us as our bodies mutated next to the breast of the earth, and the fabric of our beings changed into something awful. This is where we learn that all of the Hydra are Amazonians. Yep.
Yeah.
It is, and it's again just super hardcore. So at this point in the story, we know that something happened for society, for mankind, to attack the Mascara with nuclear armaments. And while the bombs couldn't kill them because they're Amazons, the fallout changed them into this, which is, oof, well, what a rough way. You'd almost rather be dead, you know?
Yeah, no, than morphed like that.
Yeah. So, you know, that kind of changes things some. But at this point, Hippolyta, she's not letting go of Diana's head.
Right.
And you get the idea that that she's not happy maybe with why Diana is with these humans.
Right, that she's helping them.
Yeah. Yeah, like
and
why?
she's trying to like change her mind, kind of.
And Dee comes in with the save. Dee grabs a sword and slices off Hippolyta's hands while they're still on one woman's head.
Yes.
So now technically, Hippolyta, she's got no hands or legs.
She got a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, she got a lot of shit going on. And then it's at that point that Nubia comes in looking like an Elden Ring boss.
Really? That is the first thing I thought. I was like, now, my ex-husband used to play a game just like this shit.
Exactly. I was never any good at it, so I didn't get very far. But I know an Elden Ring boss when I see one.
Yes, and it's that.
Yeah.
I've seen countless hours as I read a book in the corner of my eye of that exact image.
Yeah. And Nubia is enormous in this book. By most standards, Nubia has like a similar shaping figure to Wonder Woman. But here, she's a little bit older and she's got a more mature look. And she is very massive, especially in the suit of armor. And
she kind of like towers over everybody.
Yeah. So she comes along and there's a big fight now that's trying to take place. But Wonder Woman, she's still out of it from like the vision mind control thing that she just experienced.
Yeah.
And so now they're having a hard time trying to get out of here. Unfortunately, in the process, one of our characters who has been a good friend with Dee, his name is Tall, he is killed by Nubia. I mean, viciously ran through with a sword. So he is...
That's not going to help Hydra-human relations.
No, probably not. Probably not. But right when Nubia has them dead to rights, who comes to the rescue?
Friggin' Barbara on a Pegasus! Yeah. I was like, the fuck?
Right. Barbara comes through on like it's like a mutated Pegasus.
It is. It's got like half of it. Kind of matches her face thing going on.
But this is just one of the most beautiful panels in the whole book.
Yeah, me. I agree.
I love this shot. It's raining and there's the lightning in the background, and Nubia looks like a badass right here, and then there's Cheetah on Pegasus looking like a badass, and so it's badassery all the way around.
It is.
Yeah. Super cool stuff. So there is a fight that ensues here. Barbara is trying to save Diana. Just it's just a way to repay the favor type thing.
Yeah.
And you know, just to help you like maybe appreciate this a little bit more, like Barbara's relationship with Diana has always been tumultuous to say the least. I mean, she's been one of her villains, you know.
Right.
And so like this is kind of like things slowly turning a leaf and maybe realizing that problems are bigger than whatever problem Barbara had with Diana, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes sense. And like as somebody who hasn't read other stuff, you can still kind of get that across that they have a very tumultuous relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. So
this blew my mind.
Oh yeah.
That image right there with that symbol on that door.
Yeah.
I was like, the fuck now? I did not know we were getting all the main three characters.
Right. So I think it's here, actually, where is it here where Barbara explains what happened, or maybe it's a couple pages from now?
I have it after the Superman door reveal.
Okay, that's probably where it happens then. But either way, there is a falling out here between Dee and Diana, and it's probably something to do with Diana's mother wanting humanity dead.
I'm sure that came up.
Yeah. And so Dee didn't take that very lightly, and she goes, I thought that I could trust you. I looked up to you. And Dee says that she even says, you can't leave now. We run out of food in 3 days. We need you. And,
you have to save us.
Yeah. And Dee says, we trusted you. We believed in you. You promised. And Diana says, well, you never should have trusted me. And I never should have trusted you. And again, very simple dialogue, but very impactful. There's a lot of meaning behind those words.
I feel like that picture there was the end of that comic.
Yep. That is definitely the end of issue 2.
Yep.
For sure. And talk about foreboding, just seeing the image of Diana standing in front of the Fortress of Solitude that has "Where are you?" written and who knows what. Could be blood.
Right. Kind of looks like blood.
Yeah. So I think it's here now where we finally get the understanding of what happened between the Amazons and the humans.
Yep.
Barbara tells the story. You know what's funny? Just looking at this, taking a step back, is that it would be hilarious if like Barbara just made this up.
Yeah, this ain't even really what happened. Yeah. Barbara just got a vindictive soul.
Barbara's like, I still hate you, so I'm gonna make up this terrible lie.
That would be horrible. I hope that's not what happened. Thanks for putting it in my head.
Oh, but there is a flashback that's early on in this book where Hippolyta and Nubia, they're standing out by like a certain area of Themyscira where like some of the statues are, and Hippolyta notices that like the water level has changed. Yeah. And she's like, what in the world's happened here? And that at the time when you first read it, I didn't really know what to take from that. But then you get to this point and you see that, okay, they're getting at humanity has been just ruining the environment. There's been a change in the sea level, a change in just the environment as a whole, a change in the air pollution. All that's been altered. And so the Amazons tried to make a treaty with the humans saying, and by the way, like the Amazons making a treaty basically means, hey, you need to do this thing or there's gonna be a problem.
Right, exactly. Like they carry the big sword.
Yeah, yes. So it's not the friendliest of greetings I could imagine.
No, I'm sure it wasn't.
But the humans or humanity didn't take too kindly to that.
Imagine that.
Yeah. So peace talks ceased, and there instead was a pretty big war, enormous war.
Yeah.
And
that's a really pretty panel too.
It is a cool panel. I mean, and it just does what it needs to do. It's a panel like of armies battling the Amazons, and you have to imagine that I'm thinking too much about it. I was like, I had to imagine that this battle was probably fought on Themyscira, but then I'm like, man, how'd you guys get tanks over there?
Right.
I imagine you drove enormous battleships
Full of tanks, right?
Yeah.
Right. Like, how do we get tanks over to like the Middle East? We put them on a
same
ship.
thing.
So.
Yep. Except I'm sure that it's a lot harder to do that on Themyscira.
I'm sure. They see it coming and shit.
Yeah. But no, enormous wars have taken place. This is also when we see like them operating on Cheetah for the first time, and then just mutating her. And what I get from this panel, where they're torturing Cheetah, or they're taking out on Cheetah, is that they just wanted to kind of harm or take the anger out on anyone.
Exactly. It wasn't even Cheetah they were mad at. It was
Right.
just she was the representation at the time.
Yeah. And Cheetah had to be like, I fight that bitch on a regular basis. Like,
Right, exactly. She ain't my friend.
Yeah. Don't take this out on me. So here's where they have they do something that's interesting here. So have you seen the Wonder Woman movie? Either of them?
Yeah, I've seen the first one.
Okay.
I think I started 80 whatever it was, but I didn't finish it.
84,
84, something like that.
Once again, you made the right decision.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But the first one I enjoyed.
Yeah. Actually, I like the first one, despite Gal Gadot doing her Gal Gadot thing.
Yeah. And I didn't actually hate her in that. It just
Yeah.
it fell a little flat, but it was watchable.
Yeah, I agree. I just hope our next Wonder Woman can be more Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Only reason I bring that up is because Chris Pine, he played a character called Steve Trevor.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like the, kind of her boo thing in that movie.
Yeah, I was going to say he's like a romantic interest, if you would.
And that's kind of what Steve is in the comic books. He's not just like her arm candy, but he's the guy who is able to convince Diana to trust in humanity and to believe that mankind can be good and that mankind is worth fighting for. That's what Steve always has represented in the comic books and also in the movie. What's interesting here is that in this panel, which we've seen a couple times in the book, they're insinuating that Steve is actually not to be trusted along with the rest of the humans.
And see, I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah. Because we see Steve there standing at the wreckage of his plane crash on Themyscira, and we see his hand right next to his gun, and Diana saying, "My mother was right." So it's
that is Steve.
Yeah.
Do they call him Steve, or you just knew that from comic book knowledge?
I think both. I'm pretty sure earlier when they referenced this same panel, I think she name drops him. But it could just be me adding information here. But I feel very, very certain that's
Steve.
Yep.
It looks like it.
Yep.
The jacket and the kind of hairstyle.
Yep. So Cheetah, she just tells them that so this is kind of what happened with humanity, and there's kind of a bit of a friendship blossoming, or something along those lines blossoming between Cheetah and Wonder Woman, So, but Diana, she's like, okay, I can't trust humanity anymore, and my mother wishes death upon everything. I'm trapped between two terrible forces, and I need advice. She goes, I need him. And I love how both Diana and Barbara know who they're talking about when they say him. Mm-hmm. And Barbara's like, all right, we'll leave at dawn. And in the meanwhile, Hippolyta, she is gathering together all of the Hydra. She's like, okay, enough is enough. Like,
we're about to fuck shit up.
About to fuck all shit up. Yes. And fast forwarding here, Dee didn't leave Themyscira empty-handed. No. Dee left with Wonder Woman's
whip.
Yes, the lasso of truth. She grabbed it and she took off with it. if you're gonna leave with something, that's a good thing to leave with.
Yeah, absolutely. Didn't take shit from the Batcave,
Right.
but took the freaking lasso of truth.
Oh yeah, hilarious.
Yeah.
Fast forwarding along here, we do see Barbara and Diana on the Pegasus, and they fly to the Fortress of Solitude in just the grimmest of images. Mm-hmm. As they're flying, or as they're approaching the Fortress of Solitude,
You got like bones and like just, I don't know, bits of human.
So when you got to this point in the book, what did you think you were gonna find in terms of Superman? How did you think he was gonna be?
I thought he was gonna be dead like Batman. I thought he was gonna be dead like Batman, and his corpse was gonna be there.
Oh, well, you would be 100% right.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. And I guess the question is, like, we know that Batman can be killed, by conventional means, but Superman, what in the world could have killed him?
Yeah. Well, foreboding there.
A little bit, right? So they...
Sorry. the Superman got me.
Oh, yeah. There is a Superman that is present here. So as Barbara and Diana approach the Fortress of Solitude, first things first, like the key to the door has always been right out front of the fortress, and it's still there. However, for those of you who don't know, the key to the Fortress of Solitude is like made from the material of a condensed star. It is incredibly dense and incredibly heavy. And maybe under normal circumstances, Diana would be able to lift it, but she cannot now.
Right, because her powers aren't there.
Yep. But thankfully, there is someone to greet them at the door.
It's the corpse of Superman.
It is a robotic remain of Superman. Have you seen the Superman movie? You've seen that, right?
Not the newest one that just came out.
Okay, you haven't. Okay. You need to.
I know. I think it's on the Plex finally.
Yeah, it's on the Plex. It's actually on HBO as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I need to see it. I was hesitant because I love my boy Cavill. And I really loved him as Superman. I thought he did a great job.
Same.
And so I was hesitant. I'm going into it with a little bit of reservation, but it's gotten nothing but wild praise.
Yeah.
And I've since seen a lot of interviews with the new Superman actor. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
You're going to make fun of me because I don't even know if you know who this person is. But my go-to is if they go on the Brittany Broski show. And he did. Brittany Broski is like a YouTuber, TikToker who does interviews. But she's a comedian. You should look up some of her interviews with some big name actors. Diego Luna went on it after Andor, and I enjoy her interview style. Yeah, and she asks really good questions. She's kind of like a Hot Ones kind of interviewer.
Oh, okay.
And then she asks the questions people want the answers to.
So let me ask you this. You walk into a room, maybe no bigger than this, and you see Diego Luna, and then you see Hayden Christensen, and then you see Henry Cavill.
Dear God. Which hand am I grabbing?
Yeah. What's your response here to seeing these three friendly faces?
Friendly faces that have graced many a dream of Loren's. Hayden's my 01. That's been my dude since I hit puberty. Like, there's just something about your first that you just can't let go of. And honestly, he hasn't even aged as well as, like, say, Diego. Because Diego came very soon after. The first time I saw Diego Luna was in Dirty Dancing Havana Nights. And that changed my life. Okay? I had never, like, been into his Latin men until this movie. And all of a sudden, and then I watched the Spanish movie he did with Gael Garcia Bernal. I think that's his name. Is that his name?
Could be.
Okay. Called, I can't remember it. But basically, they're two best friends who get into a threesome with one chick. And it's like this Spanish movie. It's all in Spanish. But I had wanted to see more of him. So I found this movie on, like, Line or something. And, buddy, I was changed forever. Okay? So Hayden and Diego came, like, around the same time. Now, Henry was a later time in my life.
Gotcha.
However, like, I appreciated Henry more because he was into all the same shit I was into off screen.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But Hayden's the the like OG.
That's
like,
also gonna be your A1.
Yes, my A1, my ride or die, Hayden.
Gotcha.
I don't know what I would do if I ever met that man in like a con environment. Y'all would just. I cried when I met an author that's not even my favorite author. So
I would love to see you meet Hayden Christensen. We have to make that happen.
I think I would have to be drugged. We'll see how Oz does at MomoCon, and we'll see like how we handle that kind of situation. You know what I mean? What kind of prescriptions we need to have on hand, because Oz is going to meet Matt Mercer.
That's right.
At MomoCon, and so we can try out some things, see what works, what doesn't work, just to date people. So we'll be prepared.
Yeah, Oz is gonna look like a goddamn fool when that happens.
I'm gonna bring my dog's Trazodone, just in case we need to slip it in a peanut butter cookie.
Yeah, and just feed it to him. He'll eat it. Oh. Anywho.
That was our second.
That's right. So they are met with like this robot Superman. Oh yeah, that's right. I mentioned the Superman movie,
and I hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah. The only reason is because Superman, in both the movie and in a lot of the comic books, he has like these robot assistants.
Okay.
Who tend to the Fortress of Solitude. And this robot here is essentially one of them, except he also has a Superman costume on.
He does.
Yeah, and so he has.
So I did not get that the first read through, not having all of that information. I thought that was like a corpse of Superman.
Well, he does claim to have like some parts of Superman, but he's really, I think, referring to like from what he could download.
Right.
He has like those essences of Superman, but physically, Superman, his body is sitting up there on the throne.
Yeah. There.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, that is Superman's body. And so at this point now, as this robotic assistant in the Fortress of Solitude, he ushers in Barbara and Diana and shows them where Superman is. And Superman is sitting up on like his throne chair, and he still has his Superman outfit on, but his chest is caved in.
And you're like, what the heck could do that to Superman?
Did you have any thoughts at this point?
I definitely was standing 10 toes down. I had to have been nuclear of some kind. Because I'm like, there's only so many things that would fucking do this to superheroes.
Right.
Like the most toxic Fallout type shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and then to wipe out Superman, it had to be pretty intense.
Yeah. I really wasn't sure.
Yeah. And so Diana, she's freaking out again because Clark is dead. This is also a pretty big deal because in DC Comics, DC has something that, dare I say, Marvel doesn't even have. They have what they call a Trinity. Yeah. And the Trinity is like the big three. And the big three have always been Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and now Wonder Woman's the only one left.
She's the only one left.
What would you call Marvel's big three? Would you say like Spider-Man?
That's a great question. It's tricky because like with DC, those are the big three because, you know, of who they are and what they represent, but also they do a lot of work together. And so for Marvel's equivalent, that is
Iron Man, Spider-Man, and
maybe
Captain America.
Maybe like Captain America, Thor, and Hulk.
Yeah, like from the early Avengers, I could see that for sure.
Yeah, it's tricky, and I'm surprised that Marvel hasn't fully like developed their own kind of
leaned into that.
Yeah, synergistic type thing like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's my one thing with the Avengers. Like, at a certain point, it was super cool to see them all gang up. There were so many of them.
Oh, yeah.
That, like, I would, like, as a casual viewer, forget sometimes who certain people were.
Yeah.
especially in Endgame.
Oh, when they're all there.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, wait, who is this bitch again? Oh, she's on the good side. Okay.
Yeah. That was a lot.
But, like, even as a casual viewer, I know who Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are.
Yeah.
So it's more like appealing to the masses, I feel like, to keep it simplified.
Yeah. And I would agree with that. And I feel like you could also say for Marvel, maybe like Spider-Man, Wolverine, and...
Forget Wolverine is a freaking Marvel.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, because he does the movie with Deadpool.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know why, because X-Men is...
They're mutants, they're Marvel.
They're Marvel.
Yep.
Hey.
I think the movies might have thrown you off because...
They had a DC vibe to them, the X-Men movies, my thoughts.
That and they were made by a different company than the Avenger movies.
Got it.
And it wasn't until I think 2018 or 2017 when Disney bought out Fox, and when they bought Fox, they got the entire X-Men catalog as well. So all the movie rights that Fox had to the X-Men or Fantastic Four reverted back to Disney, and so now Disney finally has, for the most part, access to all of their characters for live action.
Makes sense. Okay. Yeah. I have seen bits and pieces of Fantastic Four movies, but I'm not going to lie to you. Those aren't my favorite guys.
So they're not anyone's favorite movie. Have you seen the new one?
No, I saw it. It was on Plex the other day, and I almost clicked on it, but I ended up watching the first 3 or 4 episodes of Ted Lasso.
I heard that Ted Lasso was pretty good, though.
I enjoyed the beginning of it. Like... Yeah. It's fun. It's warm-hearted. Yeah. You've got to be in the mood to watch it. You know what I mean? You want to put it on when you're needing maybe like a pick-me-up or like a good chuckle, but I wouldn't put it on if I'm wanting to get into something like intense and like can't wait to see what happens next type of thing.
Yeah, I'm like that with Fargo. I need to restart that for the 4th time.
I couldn't get into that one.
No?
No. It was... I don't know. Something about it just wasn't for me. But I also have a lot of hot takes on things that aren't for me. Because infamously, I don't like...
Breaking Bad. Yep, and I choose to ignore that.
I know. It's like my one opinion that all the other homies just want to change my mind on.
Yeah. It's okay to be wrong sometimes.
It is. It's okay. Everybody's wrong sometimes. It's okay.
So we get a flashback here to what happened with Superman. Mm-hmm. And Superman is actually trying to break up the fighting here because he doesn't want to hurt any of the Amazonians, but he doesn't want to hurt the humans either. And, he's trying to level out this war going on. He looks up in the sky and he sees nuclear missiles. And he's like, you got to be fucking kidding me. And so then he bursts into this room where all these government suits are. And he says, you told me that you wouldn't fire the missiles.
Yep.
And they were like, sorry, Superman, we're the government. I mean, we lie.
Fuck the people.
Yeah. And it was too many nuclear armaments for anyone to stop. And Wonder Woman, she takes her bracers off. And so now at this point, she's just full on...
angry.
Rage, angry, super powerful Wonder Woman. And she takes off. But at this point, there's nothing that can be done for Themyscira. Like, it's going to get nuked. It's been nuked. And Superman, he apologizes. And he says, look, they told me they weren't going to do this. I am so sorry, Diana, but she doesn't want to hear it. Diana doesn't want to hear any of it. And so she starts fighting Superman with like everything she has. And Superman doesn't want to fight back at first, but those hits hurt.
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out here why she's blaming Superman. I guess because he trusted the government?
Yeah, because at this point, he is still trying to protect humanity, and Wonder Woman is coming from the side of, I have to protect my people. And so she feels like, as close as they are, those two, that he should have fought for her and the Amazons.
More so than the side of the humans, which is what she felt like he was siding with, maybe.
Yep.
Makes sense.
But Superman was trying to break up this war this fight, and he was told that they weren't going to fire those nukes, and they did.
Yes.
And so Wonder Woman's not wanting to hear any of this, but she is just full on powered by all the gods.
Fucking beating Superman's ass.
Yeah. And so this fight goes on, and this is where we get something that blew my mind. I thought that the Great Fire were the nukes hitting different parts of the world, but the nukes only hit Themyscira. The Great Fire was the fight between Wonder Woman and Superman.
Yep.
And I said, that is hardcore as fuck.
Yeah, so Wonder Woman caused the dead Earth.
She caused the dead Earth, yep. It was her. And the fight happens all over the world, all over the place, and they're just decimating, like, everywhere they go, because Superman cannot stop her.
Nope, and she's letting her anger get the best of her because she took her bracers off.
Yeah. And the fight eventually ends up in the Fortress of Solitude, and it's in there that she smashes a container that contains kryptonite, and she breaks the kryptonite shards into her hands so that when she punches Clark, he's getting hit with not only her force, but with kryptonite. Awful, awful stuff.
It is.
And she punches him until she caves his chest in.
And she kills him.
Yep. He dies right there on that throne.
And then she's like, oh, what have I done?
Yep. What you think about this happening here?
I thought it was a huge, reveal. Like I said, I thought it was the nuclear war that caused the dead Earth. That's what I freaking thought. I was convinced of it. It was the first thought I had in this book. So to find out that it was all caused by Wonder Woman and her anger was really mind-blowing.
Yeah. Me too. That was a tremendous twist and a heartbreaking twist.
Yeah, exactly. It really, really, breaks your heart because you know Wonder Woman's character. We've already talked about the kind of compassion she has.
Yeah.
So this must weigh on her heavily when she realizes what's happened.
Absolutely. And then you have to also wonder, well, how does she set this right? And also, how does she resolve this issue with her mother?
Yeah.
Because what remains of humanity isn't much, but it's still worth fighting for. But she also doesn't have a way to stop the Hydras because Superman's dead.
Yep.
So what's she gonna do? Well, thankfully, at this point, Dee does show up. She arrives there, and with the lasso of truth she has, she lassos Wonder Woman, and she gets Wonder Woman to tell the truth. Like, did you ever really care about us or humanity? You know, we're just a means to an end. And Diana, she tells the truth that, no, I really do care about humanity, but I just didn't think I could trust humankind anymore.
Right.
And, Wonder Woman, she has a come to Jesus meeting or a come to, if you're like demigod, I don't know what gods you worship.
Zeus.
Yeah, come to Zeus. Meeting. So he's kind of an asshole in every incarnate. Basically,
he really is.
Basically, if it's not the Disney Hercules movie, then Zeus is a dick.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
I can't think of any other version of Zeus where he isn't just an asshole.
I can't either. It's a man whore of an asshole.
Yep. So at this point, the gang, they're like, well, we already kind of raided Batman's armory. Let's raid Superman's. And so you have Dee, Diana, Barbara, and robot Superman assistant. If they all go in and they raid Superman's trophy room, and just to gain some supplies and whatnot. And Diana does some of the most hardcore shit that I've ever seen in a comic book. Yep. So from Batman, when she saw her old friend Bruce there dead, she took his utility belt and she's going to use that to help. With Superman,
she takes his spinal cord, you guys. She rips his spinal cord out.
With his skull attached on the end of it.
Yes, sir.
And then she intertwines her lasso of truth with it to bind it all together. And she's got one of the most dangerous weapons in the world now.
It's insane. It's really insane. That was probably another point where I was like, okay, I have to finish this.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck just happened?
It's just so sick. And I mean that in multiple ways.
Yeah, absolutely. It's sick cool. It's sick what? It's sick. Ooh.
Yeah. But our old Superman assistant friend.
I feel like that's the end of 3.
That is the end of 3.
That is such a good image right there with her mother behind her. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a cool image. I dig that.
That is insanely cool.
We do get a flashback here of what happened with Batman officially.
Yeah.
So Batman, he goes to the Fortress of Solitude because he knows that probably the fight led here.
Yeah.
And to check on Clark and see what the fuck was happening. And when he gets there, he obviously finds Clark dead, and Wonder Woman is in like this almost catatonic state. And then there is a robot Superman assistant, and Bruce is like, okay, well, I have this idea. I'm going to leave this with you. And what Batman does is using like his science brain and technology, he's able to extract a portion of basically Wonder Woman's essence that makes her so powerful. And he puts it in like, I don't know if that's lead, but he puts it in this box.
Yep.
And he hands it to the robot, to our robot cosplaying of Superman. And he says, okay, there will come a time when you may need this. When someone comes along who is human, if they trust Wonder Woman enough, give this to them, and then they can decide what to do with this. If they want to give this to Wonder Woman or not. But in the meantime, I'm going to take her somewhere where she can heal. And so that's when Batman...
That's what he puts her in the stasis tank.
Yep. He takes her back to the Batcave, puts her in the stasis tank, and with Batman, he was like, the radiation's already gotten to me. I only have a few days left before I'm dead anyway. And so, yeah, Batman makes sure that Diana's good, and he goes up and he does something that Batman actually never really does, like ever. He pours himself a drink. And then he sits down.
He says,
Yep. He just gives a chuckle as he looks out at the barren wasteland that used to be Gotham. And that's it. That's where Batman dies. Most times when you see Batman, even Bruce Wayne, when he's drinking, it's like a mocktail that he wants people to think is real alcohol. So it's
not a big drinker.
No, he's not a big drinker. Nope. So now with this last issue here, what we basically have is like a big battle. There is the remainder of Camp New Hope, and Théoden, he's been trying to make somewhat of a face turn this entire book.
Yeah.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, still a piece of shit, but he's
trying.
He's trying. Yeah, he still wants what's best for the people.
And I think he feels like it's not fighting the monsters.
Yeah. And so now basically it's humanity versus these monsters, these Hydras, and can they defeat them? Now when I got to this panel right here, I had no idea that Hippolyta's form was that massive.
Yeah,
it's kaiju size.
It's huge.
Yeah, she is the biggest and baddest and ugliest of all
the Hydras.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
It does.
The better.
Yeah. And then there's freaking Nubia, who's riding like the back of like a dragon Hydra.
Yeah.
It's sick. And so a lot of this, guys, is just like a really sick combat. And Diana, she's flying by on the Pegasus with her Superman mace or flail.
Yep.
And like it is doing work.
It is. It is in fact fucking shit up.
And she's beating the hell out of Nubia and all the other Hydra that are coming in her way. The humans are trying to do some work, and so this is just like one big giant fight. They even got assistant robot Superman cosplayer.
Yes.
he's out here doing fights too.
He is.
Whenever you watch the Superman movie, you're really gonna like those robot assistants. And when you,
I'm gonna prioritize. It might be a weekend watch because I'm doing a very low key weekend this weekend. I've been running like crazy. I might have to give it a watch this weekend.
Take some time for yourself. Watch. I think you really like it.
I'm gonna do it.
And when you do, I promise you, every time you see those robots, you're gonna think of him.
I am. I bet you I am now.
Unfortunately, he gets chomped on by the mouth part of the body of Hippolyta's Hydra body.
Yeah.
So he doesn't make it, unfortunately.
No, sad robot Superman.
Yep. You were one of the good ones.
You were.
Yeah. So the thing that we get to now is, as hard as Wonder Woman is fighting and as badass as she is, she can't do it. It's still too much.
Yep.
Now, Dee was given the box from Robot Superman before he died. Mm-hmm. The box that contains the full essence of Wonder Woman's power. And it's up to Dee now to decide if she wants to give that to Diana or not. Is Wonder Woman deserving of this or not? And we get this flashback sequence of Dee getting that box. And now she has to make that decision herself. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, Dee does decide to do this. And I like the dialogue here because Diana goes to say thank you, but Dee says, "Don't thank me. It's not like I had a choice."
I did like that a lot.
Yeah. And so Diana, she's able to be restored to like her full strength, and she's standing up in front of like this monstrosity that used to be her mother, and they go at it.
Yep.
What did you think of like this entire big battle here at the end of the book in the first place?
So I was kind of surprised at first that Diana was on the side she was on. Like, as a casual comic book person, I wouldn't have thought that she would fight her mother and them. You know, even though they may have been in the wrong, like, that's a hard decision to make, to fight your own mom.
Yeah. Who's
been tortured, you know what I mean, and turned into this thing. Like, I see where the mom's coming from a little bit.
Yeah.
So Diana really stood on business and was like, "No, you're not going to hurt these humans." Yeah. And that shocked me just slightly.
Yeah, and it just kind of speaks to Diana always wanting to stand up for those who can't defend themselves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
And I mean, at this point, the Hydra, they won. No one else won in this. No one won, period. But if there had to be a winner,
it's the Hydra.
Yeah, yeah. But Diana, with her full power and with her lasso of truth / Superman spine,
golly, that just kills me.
She beats the teetotal shit out of Nubia and Hippolyta, her own mother.
Yes, she does.
But at the end of it all, when like this whole big bloody battle has come to a close, there is the closing moments of this.
Oh my gosh, there's a line that I wrote down. The choice must lie within the wronged party.
Oh, yeah. Well, because that was a great line.
That was a great line. And I think it's a little further back.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I forget the scene, but I remember writing down.
Yeah, it was...
But I know it's between her and her mother, I believe.
Yeah, so here is when Hippolyta says that... how dare you protect them? They've turned us into victims that you're now killing. So it's now your choice. Either you save humans and kill us all, or stand aside and let us do what should have been done since the beginning. But there is that moment that you're talking about, and I wish I could find it. Yeah, it was a great line though.
It is. Now
here it is.
I was like, is it between her and Dee?
Yeah, it's her and Dee. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we spoke about this earlier. That was just a great line when she says, like I had a choice. Love it.
There's a lot of really good one-liners in this one.
And there really are. Yeah. So, like, the last moments, though, of the fight is just Diana she's got her mother beaten. And seemingly all of the other Hydra have been defeated, or at least they've retreated some. And Diana's pleading with her mother, and she says there's so much good in them being humanity. And Hippolyta just doesn't want to hear it. And she says, Diana, look at me. Look at what they made me. And she goes, I've lost myself. I've lost everything.
She says, you still have me, mother.
Yeah. Diana says that as her mother just slumps into the ocean like Godzilla. And, Diana says, you still have me. You'll always have me. And she cries on the shores of Themyscira amongst the corpses of what used to be her sisters. Pretty gruesome stuff.
It is.
Pretty gruesome stuff. And so at the end here, we see Diana, and she's burying the corpses of the Hydras. And again, as we know earlier, the Hydras used to be Amazonians.
Yep.
But then the remainder of humankind who helped fight in this battle, they started to help bury the dead as well. And so there's like a show of respect there.
Absolutely.
Yep. We see Cheetah. She still hasn't ran off. She's still sticking around. So she still wants to help rebuild in some fashion. Dee is also still alive but injured. There have obviously been a lot of casualties on both sides. Diana and Dee, they seem to begin to make up for their falling out. And Diana says something very interesting here. She talks about how she lost her bracers, or one of them, but she still has one, and she's going to wear red until she can find the other. And Dee asks, so does that dampen your powers any? And Diana says no, but it's just a sign of good faith, because so now technically Diana still has her full power set.
Yeah.
Do you think that's for the better or for the worse that she has just this full unbridled access to the power?
Well, it makes you question because of how they got there into this dead earth, to begin with. You know what I mean? Not knowing that, I would say absolutely, Wonder Woman, give her all her powers. But now you kind of question if she can control them.
Right.
And without both bracers, you worry.
Yeah. Yeah, but dare I say, famous last words, how much worse could it get?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the end of this book
I
is filled
love
with
that last shot.
Yes, it's Diana extending her hand to Dee, and Diana says, "Will you help me revive this dead earth?"
I love that, this all-powerful woman who's just, kicked the Hydra's ass. She's got a fucking Superman spine lasso. Yeah. Is asking this human girl, will you help me?
Yes.
That's so good. It's so good. I really enjoyed that book.
I am so glad that you like this.
I did. I did. As it was perfect for a casual person. It was a cohesive story. There was some shocking moments in it where I was like, "Is this right?" But because I didn't know about the non-canon Black Label stuff, so I was just like, "That shit is crazy. I gotta watch me some more DC stuff."
Yeah, I figured I had to give you something that's different in tone from Saga.
Yeah,
Let's expand the palette here.
And you have no idea how cohesive it went with me finishing Alchemized the day before. There's a stasis tank in Alchemized.
Really?
Yes.
I could not have planned that better.
I know. It's crazy. It was the most cohesive transition I think I've had in my reading career.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is, I am so glad then that I chose this.
It was the perfect choice. That's why I was texting the homie Oz a little bit, and I was like, did he know what I was reading? He was like, no, I'm pretty sure he's not keeping up with what you're reading, Loren.
That makes me really glad that I chose not to do Batman Year One, because that would not have gelled.
It would have been a total vibe switch. Absolutely. But this was all in the same level.
Yes. Awesome. Lauren, what are your final thoughts, your comments on One Woman Dead?
I immediately recommended it to another friend of mine.
That's awesome.
Because she doesn't really read graphic novels or comics or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But she's really into like post-apocalyptical stuff. She's really into like woman power kind of stuff. So I was like, you should really read this. This is like post-apocalyptic Wonder Woman standalone story. Like, it's great. So yeah, I really, really freaking enjoyed it. It was perfect for a casual reader. Highly recommend for somebody who doesn't sit down and read whole libraries of graphic novels, because it really was cohesive, like beginning, middle, and end. And it was fun recognizing characters. You know what I mean? Like, I obviously recognized the big three. Like, I didn't know Barbara, and I didn't know, maybe some of the other littler characters, but I knew who the frick Superman and Batman were. So I liked it a lot. I really did. I gave it like 4.5 stars.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It was fantastic.
That is.
Could not put it down.
You mean it's wonderful?
Yes, yes.
Caleb's not here.
There's still a limit. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, man. Well, I am so glad that you enjoyed Wonder Woman Dead Earth. Again, like this.
I really did.
I'm right there with you. I thought that this is just really a breath of fresh air, because every once in a while you need to break away from the main continuity and just read something that's fresh.
Absolutely. And this was, even though it was in the same vibes as the previous thing I had read was an 1,100-page world-building, like, biopic. So this was really refreshing, where it was like a cohesive story and quick read, but it kept me in the same mindset. It was such a perfect choice.
Yeah. And again, Daniel Warren Johnson, like, his artwork, his style of art is incredible.
It is. It's beautiful. It is grim, but it is beautiful.
Yes. So, homies, there you have it. That is our thoughts, our review, our take of Wonder Woman Dead Earth. I think for me anyway, is one of my favorite Wonder Woman stories. And there's a lot of great Wonder Woman stories out there, but this one's up there for me. So
yeah, it was great. This. It was fantastic. Great for casual, or great for somebody who reads a lot of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it's just great all the way around. Great for basically anyone who likes this style of story, I think. But there you have it, homies. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Lauren, tell us what is coming up next with Coffee and Lore.
So we're wrapping up September. I have just today came out my everything that I read in September. And we've got some big new releases coming out in October. Allie Hazelwood is following up her smash hit of Bride, her first toe dip into the alpha and omega kind of werewolf stuff, with the second book, Mate, that's coming out on the 7th. I will be reviewing that immediately. Also, I'm reading my 100th book of the year this week. I've picked Jade War, which is the first book in the I think it's just called the Jade Trilogy. And I have been hearing about this series for so many years, and I'm really excited. I try to always pick a significant book for my 100th book of the year. And so I'm really excited to put my toes on this world that is, supposed to be incredibly, incredibly well written for fantasy. So yeah, that's everything that's coming up over on Coffee and Lore.
That is awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah. How many books do you normally average in a year?
It varies. So I plan to only read about like 130 this year. I wanted to decrease it a little bit from previous years. When I start getting over 150, like closer to the 200s, reading for me is an escape. And so when I'm reading like 150 to 200 books, something's going on. Gotcha. There's a reason that I am spending that much time in another place. And so I have other hobbies that I'm really trying to hit a little bit harder: crafts, baking, cooking, parties, hosting things that I really would. I honestly said I only wanted to read 100 books for the year. That was like my New Year's resolution, was to be 100. And we're in October and I hit 100, so that's not terribly far off. I'll probably hit another 10, 20, 30. Probably 30.
You know, I've never met anyone whose goal was to read
Read
less.
less. Believe it or not, I actually have another friend whose goal was this
Wow.
year to read a little bit less. Just because, like I said, it's an escapism for some people, especially when you're reading to the amount that I am.
Oh, yeah.
Usually you're not socializing a whole fucking lot.
Yeah.
And so it can feel a little bit like not ostracizing, but like almost self-ostracizing. Like you're taking yourself out of society and you're living in these other worlds. And so just being more present in my world and not necessarily my fantasy world was a goal.
You know, that when you break it down like that, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely. My social calendar picked up, my books go down.
Yeah,
So.
and that's fair. It's healthy balance.
Absolutely. I think that 10 books a month is like a really good spot for me, which puts you at like 120 a year. But if I'm reading more than 10 books a month, something's going on.
So I don't read nearly as much as you do, but I do still try to read a good bit when I can. How is your retention?
Really good. I think that the way that I track my books helps a lot. So I am a little OCD, and then I track my books in about 3 to 4 different ways. I have a Goodreads where I put a rating out of 5 stars, and then I write a little thing. You can follow me on Goodreads as well. Then I have a spreadsheet that is color-coded that I keep in my office.
Yeah.
That I'm constantly working on. It's just an Excel spreadsheet. Everybody knows about those. And then I have a book journal. In the physical book journal, only 4-star and above reads go.
Got it.
So I actually have like a little sticker printer. I'll find images I like on Pinterest or on Etsy of the book, and I'll print them out, and it'll be very detailed. And those are my favorites of the year. So, and plus I have Coffee and Lore.
Yeah.
So if you either are a great book or you sucked, you're going to end up on Coffee and Lore. And so I have multiple ways that I can remind myself, because there are a lot of times where a book will come out and then 2 years later the sequel will come out, and I'll have read 270 books in between.
Yeah.
And I need a refresher. You know what I mean? But I retain a lot, especially if I continue on with the series. So if I'm reading a book 2 and I'm reading a book 3, I really had to like a book 1. Yeah. I read a lot of book 1s. I read significantly fewer book 2, book 3, book 4.
Yeah.
So.
Got it. Yeah, that's really incredible that you can read that many books and have that kind of retention. I think my retention is better than it should be.
And it's, that's great. And I do think that reading does help with retention.
Yeah, it does.
I think it helps with a lot of different things. I wish my teenager would do more of it. She likes graphic novels, but
oh, that's good.
Yeah, she's reading something, right?
Yeah.
She's really into manga.
Oh,
manga?
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm saying it right. She's really into manga, which is not, I don't know, a graphic novel or not.
It is.
Okay, cool. But that's what I call them. But yeah, she's really into those. So.
I mean, yeah, I still think that's awesome. I would be into it more if I didn't have a comic book podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. You can have her on and she'll talk to you about manga.
Yeah.
But she's going to talk your ear off, and it's all going to be weird, crushing stuff.
I will have her and Dylan, and if it gets too weird, I'll just sneak out.
Slowly slide under the table, and they'll just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, believe it or not, her and Dylan read a lot of the same stuff. And they like a lot of the same musicals. Like, her and Dylan are very cohesive.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, homies, for the superhero homies, we have coming up Peacemakers episode 7 review. We'll actually be recording that by the time you guys hear this. We also have the remainder of Gen V season 2 to review. When the homie Caleb gets back, we also have the comic book Doomsday Clock to review. And then, of course, we have to watch and review Marvel Zombies. We'll be sure to have that out for you guys at least by Halloween, hopefully sooner. But that's just some of the things we have coming down the pipeline for you guys. As always, there is cool shit coming your way. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode, this review and breakdown of Wonder Woman Dead Earth. I had the best co-host that I could have for this review. Talking about the homie Loren here. Loren, thank you again for joining me on this.
This is so fun. The second that you guys said you needed somebody to fill in, I was like, give me a comic book.
Yes.
I'm in. I'm ready to read me a comic book. It had been a minute. It had been like a year since I read Saga.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was ready.
And again, I can't thank you enough. You are absolutely amazing, and yeah, this has been great. But homies, that's going to be all for now. But don't worry, I will see you guys again very soon. But until next time, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
I'm superhero homie Loren.